I thought it was my card. My sister laughed after draining $11,000 just hours before she bought herself a luxury car. Mom texted, "Relax. She just clicked the wrong account." I said calmly, "Watch your inbox." That night, I pulled every dollar back and shut down all financial access. Next morning, she got 2 emails, one from me, one from my lawyer. I thought it was my card. My sister laughed, like she hadn't just drained $11,000 from my account. She actually laughed. I stared at the bank statement on my phone. $11,000, I said slowly, as if repeating it might help it make sense. Sophie kicked off her sandals and flopped onto my couch like she owned the place. "Don't be so uptight. It was just a mix-up. I'm sure the bank will fix it." I didn't speak. Just watched her dig into the takeout I'd paid for again and scroll through pictures of her new car. A black BMW X5 with red leather seats. She'd posted it an hour ago with the caption, "Work hard, reward yourself." Except she doesn't work. Not since last year when she quit her job to focus on wellness. I'd been covering her rent, her groceries, and her bills ever since, just until she got back on her feet. Then Mom texted, "Relax. She just clicked the wrong account." It happens. Click the wrong account. Click the wrong account? $11,000 deep? I stood up, walked past Sophie, and grabbed my laptop from the kitchen counter. She didn't even look up. "You know," I said calmly, "it's funny." "What is?" she asked between bites. "Check your inbox tomorrow," I said, opening my banking portal. "There'll be something waiting for you." That night, I locked everything down. I reversed every transfer, froze every joint account, cut off every card with my name on it, shut down every payment I'd once set up to help her out. The next morning, she got 2 emails. One was from me, the other from my lawyer. You don't just wake up one day and realize your family's been feeding off you like leeches. It happens in layers. Quietly. Slowly. Like a slow drip poison you get used to drinking until one day, your pulse flatlines and you're still smiling. My sister Sophie? She was the chaos that always got cleaned up by me. Ever since we were teenagers, I was the default solution. If she crashed Dad's car, I called the tow truck. If she overdrew her account, I covered it. When she quit her job because her manager killed her aura, I paid her rent. Not once, not twice, but for 9 straight months. And every time? "Thank you," she'd mumble. I still glued to her phone, fingers tapping out another Instagram story about self-care. She's 31 now. A full-grown woman who still treats life like a Pinterest board. Her latest identity is a lifestyle alchemist. Whatever that means. Meanwhile, I'm 34. Finance consultant. Worked my way through school bartending until 3 a.m., built a portfolio from scratch, clawed my way out of debt, and finally, saved enough for my first investment property. A 1-bedroom downtown fixer-upper. My retirement plan. Guess who asked if she could stay there for a few months while she figures things out? Spoiler, she didn't even ask. Mom did. Over brunch. "You've always been so stable," she said sweetly, buttering her toast like she wasn't about to guilt-trip me into homelessness. "Sophie just needs time to reset. She's been through so much." "Reset from what?" I asked. "She hasn't worked in 15 months. "Exactly," Mom said, as if I'd proven her point. So I let Sophie move in. Temporarily. Just 30 days. She stayed 11 months. In those 11 months, she held exactly one job, dog walker, for 3 days. She maxed out my internet streaming on woo-woo meditation workshops. She killed my Monstera plant with moon water. And she ran up $743 in Amazon charges using my Echo without permission. "Oops," she said when I showed her the invoice. I thought it was still connected to my card. Always that same line. "I thought it was my card. I thought it was your spare room. I thought it was okay." And I kept letting it slide. Because deep down, I thought maybe this time she'd be grateful. Maybe this time Mom would finally acknowledge that I was the one holding this dysfunctional circus together. But no. Every time I raised a concern, Mom would respond with that smile, you know, the one. That "you're being difficult" smile. "Don't be dramatic. You're just tired from work. Your sister needs support right now." Funny how support always looked like me bleeding money while she burned sage and slept till noon. Then came the insurance incident. One night Sophie burst into the kitchen, barefoot, waving a notice like it was confetti. Guess what? My health insurance lapsed. I paused mid-dish. And this is exciting. Why? Because I remembered, I'm still listed on your policy from when we were both on Mom's. "No," I said. "You're not." But I tried the number, and they said your name came up. Isn't that great? My stomach dropped. Turns out, my sister had somehow managed to reactivate a long-dead dependent ID using my info and racked up $2,100 in claims for acupuncture, Reiki, and a colonic. I was livid. Her answer? You always said I should take care of my health. I thought you'd be proud. Proud? Of insurance fraud? That was the first time I truly lost it. Yelled. Slammed my laptop shut. Told her she had a week to move out. She cried. Called Mom. And within the hour, I had both of them on my porch like a surprise intervention. You're being cruel, Mom said. Sophie has always been more sensitive. She committed fraud. It's just insurance, Sophie sniffled. I was hurting. Emotionally. The worst part? Mom nodded, like that explained everything. I almost expected her to hand me a tissue and say, apologize to your sister. Instead, she looked me in the eye and said, you're becoming very cold, you know that? You weren't like this before. Before? Before what? Before I was broke from bailing Sophie out of 3 different apartments? Before I paid off Mom's credit card debt without even getting a thank you text? Before I became the unofficial bank for 2 grown women who think boundaries are patriarchal constructs? Then came the final hit, the $11,000 withdrawal. The money I'd spent years saving. Gone in hours. That account wasn't even visible on the banking app unless you manually added it. And she did. She added it. Transferred $11,000 into her own checking. Bought a car. A luxury car. And when I confronted her, sitting right there in my kitchen, sipping on the $8 kombucha I bought, she just laughed. Oh, that, she said, like I was asking about laundry. I thought it was my card. Then Mom chimed in, because of course she did. Relax. She just clicked the wrong account. Clicked the wrong account? $11,000? Just a casual click? That's when something inside me broke. Not the usual frustration. Not even anger. Something colder. I looked them both in the eyes and said, very calmly, watch your inbox. That was the moment I stopped being their safety net and started being their reckoning. Contrary to what people think, revenge doesn't always come with fireworks and screaming matches. Sometimes it arrives in silence, cold, calculated, with a timestamp on an email and a lawyer's name in the CC line. But let's rewind. The night after the theft, I didn't sleep. Not because I was broken, because I was building. At exactly 2:12 a.m., I finished compiling the document, a 12-page PDF with every single financial transaction Sophie had ever made using my accounts. Each Venmo, each Zelle, each Apple Pay ping, even the Sephora charges she once insisted were a gift for Mom. I attached the PDF to 2 emails. One to Sophie. One to my attorney, Marcus Gray, a man who once helped my client recover $60,000 from his ex-business partner in under 3 weeks. Subject line: unauthorized transactions, formal action pending. And then I slept like a baby. By 7 a.m., my phone was blowing up. Sophie. WTF is this? Followed by, you're seriously lawyering up? Over family? Then came the real kicker, a call from Mom. Are you out of your mind? She hissed. A lawsuit? Against your own sister? No, Mom. Just a demand letter. You're threatening her. I'm protecting myself. Something you never managed to do. Silence. Then, the guilt. She's fragile. She made a mistake. You're being vindictive. I didn't flinch. Read the letter, I said. Every transaction. Every cent. Every time she lied. I don't need to see. You do. Because you're next. That stopped her. What? You enabled it. And you're listed on 2 of the accounts she accessed. Jointly. Another silence. Longer this time. Then came the voice crack. You wouldn't. I didn't answer. Just hung up. By noon, Sophie was at my door. In leggings and sunglasses, like this was a casual brunch, not a legal ambush. She didn't knock. Just banged twice and shouted, open up. I know you're in there. I opened the door slowly. Calm. Precise. She pushed past me like I was a doorman. Walked straight to the kitchen. Okay, what is this? She snapped, holding up her phone. Are you seriously threatening me with criminal charges? It's not a threat, I said. It's a request. Return the funds. With interest. Or Marcus files a report Monday morning. She scoffed. You're bluffing. Check your email again. She did. And when she saw the CC'd address, her face cracked. Wait, you actually hired a lawyer? Yes. For 11 grand? No, I said, stepping closer. For every single dollar you've stolen over the past 3 years. totaling $28,349.74. Her jaw dropped. Plus interest, I added. You can't be serious. I've never been more serious in my life. She tried to pivot, the way she always did. But you're my brother. We're supposed to support each other. You said that when I was broke last year. I was broke too, Sophie. I just didn't advertise it in a beach selfie. Tears welled in her eyes. I didn't buy them. Oh my God, she said, trying to play victim. You're insane. You actually want me homeless. No, I said. I want you accountable. That's when she exploded. You're jealous, she shouted. You always have been. Of how Mom loves me more, of how I'm free, of how I don't need to hide behind some boring job in a condo like a freaking coward. I almost laughed. Free. I repeated. You're not free. You're funded. You're a con artist in Lululemons. She slapped the counter. I'll tell Mom you're trying to ruin my life. Do it, I said, reaching into a folder on the table and handing her a printed copy of the report. Send her the receipts. She stared at the paper. All those numbers. All those dates. All those digital fingerprints. You're sick, she whispered. No, I said. I'm done. And then came the best part. I pulled out a second envelope. Sealed. Addressed to Sophie Langston. What's this? She sneered. I smiled. From the bank, I said. It's a notice of account removal. You're no longer linked to any of my finances. No joint access. No emergency contacts. Nothing. Her hands trembled. You cut me off. I unhooked the parasite. She stormed out. And I thought that was it. But I was wrong. At 5 p.m., I got another call, not from Mom. From my Aunt Linda. Hey, sweetie, she said gently. I just wanted to say, good for you. That stopped me. You heard? Of course. Your mom's been calling everyone, spinning her little version. But I read the report. She sent it to Uncle Ray, by accident. My jaw dropped. I've got half the family texting me now, she continued. Most of us are on your side. We've all seen how Sophie behaves. Heck, she owes me $600 from that wellness pyramid scheme she dragged us into last year. I almost laughed. Linda cleared her throat. Just wanted to let you know, you're not crazy. And you're not alone. For the first time in a long, long time. I believed that. I expected backlash. What I didn't expect was silence. Cold, echoing silence. No apologies. No explanations. Just digital ghosts where my family used to be. After Sophie stormed out, Mom didn't call for 3 days. A record in our household where she used to text me hourly if I didn't respond in 5 minutes. When she finally did, it was a paragraph that started with, I'm disappointed in you, and ended with, this isn't what family does. I didn't reply. What was there to say? That I was disappointed too? That I'd spent a decade being the emotional and financial punching bag for 2 women who treated me like a debit card with a face? She didn't ask how I was. She didn't ask if I'd recovered the money. She didn't ask if I was okay. Just more guilt. More manipulation. More, how could you do this to us? Us. That word used to mean something. Now it felt like a noose. Meanwhile, Sophie went nuclear on social media. Her Instagram lit up with passive-aggressive quotes. Blood makes you related. Loyalty makes you family. Some people only love you when you're useful. Cutting toxic energy, one relative at a time. She even made a reel, fake crying into the camera, talking about betrayal from the person she trusted most. And the comments? Her friends ate it up. You don't deserve this queen. Sending love and light. You're better off without him. He's clearly jealous of your journey. Jealous? Of what? The overdrafts? The lies? The 30-something nomadic leech routine dressed up as healing work? I didn't respond. Didn't post. Didn't retaliate. Because I didn't need to. I had what she feared most. Receipts. Boundaries. And silence. And the thing about silence? It speaks volumes. At work, people started noticing something different about me. New haircut? Someone asked. No, I smiled. New boundaries. My stress levels dropped. I was sleeping again. I stopped checking my accounts every hour out of fear. I even took my first vacation in 4 years. 3 days in the mountains with 0 Wi-Fi and 0 Sophie. And then, it happened. 3 weeks later, I got a call from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. It was Mom. Her voice was shaky. Not angry, nervous. Hi, sweetheart. I think we need to talk. Things got out of hand. Your sister is, well, she's struggling. She lost the car. Missed payments. It was repossessed. And she's blaming you. Says she wouldn't be in this mess if you hadn't gone full corporate shark on her. I paused the message, took a sip of coffee, let her continue. I know things were said, but can we just sit down? As a family? Just talk. I laughed. She still didn't get it. This wasn't about things were said. This was about years. Years of disrespect, exploitation, gaslighting dressed up as motherly concern. She was only calling because the money ran out, because Sophie was circling the drain again and needed another life preserver. And for once, I wasn't going to be it. I texted back one line. I wish you both well, but I'm done playing the bank. No reply. A week passed. Then another. Then I got a knock on my door. It was Sophie. No makeup. No filter. No design or anything. Just sweatpants, frizzy hair, and a desperate smile. Hey, she said like nothing had happened. Can we talk? I didn't move. Just looked at her. I was wrong, she said quickly. Okay. Is that what you want to hear? I made mistakes. Big ones. I know that now. I said nothing. She fidgeted, looked past me into the apartment. I'm kind of between places right now. Just for a few days. No. She blinked. What? No. I repeated. Not for a few days. Not for a night. Not even for an hour. Her mouth dropped open, like it had never occurred to her that I could say no. You're seriously going to let me live in my car? Did you ask me before you drained my savings? That was different. No, I said. It was exactly the same. You made your choices. Now live with them. You're cold, she spat. I nodded. Finally. She turned, started to leave, then looked over her shoulder one last time. You'll regret this. I smiled. I already regret every time I didn't do it sooner. She left, and this time, I locked the door behind her. People think closure comes with a hug, or a heart-to-heart talk. It doesn't. Sometimes, closure is a locked door, a bank account with one name on it, an inbox with 0 unread messages from your mother. It's quiet and final. A few days after Sophie stormed off for good, I got a letter in the mail from our old credit union, one of the shared savings accounts we'd opened for emergencies back when I still believed we were a team. Inside, a check, $273.41. The final balance. She drained it months ago, of course, probably on crystals and kombucha. But the system had closed the account automatically after my formal request to remove her as co-holder. They were sending me what was left. I laughed out loud. Not at the amount, at the symbolism. That was what our relationship came down to in the end. $273.41. I pinned the check to my fridge as a reminder. This is what happens when you give everything and ask for nothing. And then, I let go. Not the half-assed letting go you pretend to do while secretly waiting for an apology that never comes. I mean the real kind. I deleted Sophie's number, blocked Mom's, told my bank to flag any incoming request from either of them, financial or otherwise. I changed my emergency contact to my best friend Ryan, a guy who once drove through a snowstorm just to help me unclog a drain and never once asked for anything in return. I reconnected with my cousin Becca, the one who got cut out of family events for being too honest. Turns out she'd seen through Sophie and Mom years ago and just quietly distanced herself. You finally joined the Freedom Club, she said when I told her everything. Took you long enough. Yeah, it did. But I'm here now. And for the first time in my adult life, I wasn't anxious about my phone ringing. I wasn't waiting for the next financial emergency to be dumped in my lap like a flaming garbage bag. I was free. Then, one night, as I sat on my balcony with a glass of bourbon and no crises to solve, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Voicemail. I let it play. It was from Sophie. Her voice was soft, uncharacteristically raw. I know you probably won't even listen to this, but I wanted to say I get it now. I get what I did, what I took. Not just the money, the space, the peace. I took and thought it was love. I was wrong. She paused. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to say that. Goodbye. I sat in silence for a while, then deleted the message. Not because I was angry, but because I didn't need it anymore. I already had my closure. Not from her voice, but from my own strength. I had built a life, protected it, defended it, and finally reclaimed it. So here's what I learned. You can't heal in the house where you got sick. You can't grow in the shadow of people who only remember the version of you they could control. And you can't build a future if you're constantly paying for someone else's past. I'm not the villain in their story anymore, because I'm no longer in their story at all. And you know what? That's the happiest ending I've ever had.